Alright guys, what's up? Time for another video, and Jack says show off your MVS stuff, and I will do that. So I've been kind of rearranging stuff in my room because I am anticipating in like a month or so I'm going to get a candy cabinet in the room, and that takes some rearranging. So but one thing that I didn't pack up and have kept on display in the Shelf of Doom is all my MVS stuff, and I've gotten a bit more since last time I did a pickups or whatever. So these are all the shock boxes I have, and I did pick up recently Metal Slug 5, which it's okay. It's definitely not kind of up to snuff as far as, I don't know, just the kind of fairness of it and playability wise. Like, it's definitely, I like it more than 4, but yeah, but it doesn't have the branching paths and the really nice variety that I get from all the different stages in something like X or 3 or 2 for that matter. So yeah, that's my take on that. Still, probably my most played fighting game is Last Blade out of all the SNK fighters, and I do have a new one I'm playing. You should probably see this is I'm not sure if this is a Japanese card or a Korean card, if there's such a thing, a distinction at this point. But yeah, I did pick up Metro Melee, and that's a really nice green cartridge. And I've also got a bunch more kits. Some you can just see here. So I did pick up a flip shot from that Cheap Nova guy for cheap. Here's my King of Fighters 94 box, complete kit. Bust a Move is a complete kit. I just picked up Last Resort, which was a nice complete kit, and that's in my big red right now. And that is it's a hard game. As far as the shooters go, I'm not sure where I'd rank it as far as shooters on the Neo. I do kind of have the ones I want for the most part, but it's a good game. And that first stage, the skyline is really nice. Samurai Showdown 2, fantastic. Don't really need to say too much on that one. Blazing Star, another one of my favorites, and that's a really good game to get into the kind of scoring battles with buddies. Some really nice kind of scoring techniques that you don't quite get all at once, and Captain Tomaday, that's a nice complete kit I got recently, and that's a really fun game, and it's just like you're Captain Tomaday, which is a big tomato, and you get pills, and eventually and with every pill you take on a different form, and it goes all the way up to radishes and potted plants, and then eventually you become like this little devil that's the ultimate power. If you get another pill, you go back to your first power. Anyways, sounds kind of complicated unless you play it, but it's another fun vertically scrolling shooter. Metal Slug X, which is my favorite Metal Slug game. I think that game is the best looking. Well, Metal Slug 3's got some really great looks to it, but I really like X. Plays great. I think it's a fair game. You can really learn it and get good at it. Shock Troopers. Now, I've actually got 2 copies of Shock Troopers. I've got this one here, and I don't know, another one that's a loose cart. And there's two different versions of Shock Troopers. My dog is pretty bored about this, but there's 2 different versions of Shock Troopers. One that is a lot harder and more quarter munchy, in that you have one life bar amongst, you know, three party members. Oh, the soundtrack is so silly. I don't want a wedding march. And it's a character select. Excuse me as I play around with the Neo jukebox. Anyway, so when you're buying Shock Troopers, I would ask, you know, is it the version where it's a shared life bar, or each Shock Trooper gets its own life bar? Because I prefer the latter. Anyways, Neo Mr. Do, this is another new complete kit that I got that's really a fun game. That's in my Big Red right now at the game store. I'm kind of the only one that plays it, but I don't care. It's a really fun game to play for score. And this is a nice complete kit that I just got. It's a Japanese kit of Last Blade 2. And yeah, that almost deserves like a closer look, but it's all set up at the game store. Anyways, and the American kit for that is expensive as hell. Neo Drift Out, another Sheep Nova deal, and there's my Money Puzzle Exchanger Japanese kit, Complete Strikers 1945 Plus, and kind of this Aero Fighters 2 kit that I've pieced together. I actually got the box when I bought a loose copy of Samurai Showdown 4 off of eBay, and that actually turned out to be a bootleg, so I got it refunded, but the guy told me to keep everything, and he actually shipped it in that Aero Fighters 2 kit. I've since got the Aero Fighters 2 cart and mini marquee, so I've kind of just patched that together as a mixed serial kit. So one thing that's pretty cool, my dog is asleep, he's so bored, but one thing I'll show you that I picked up recently, these are special kind of MVS cart holders, and they're almost like an old VHS tape, I don't know, koozie or just kind of box like that, and it's just a fold up paper kit. Let me just put it in, fold it up like that. So I got this off a site called windygaming.com, and Chris goes by CDAM on a lot of forums. That's his shop, and he put this together, and it's kind of a nice alternative to getting shock boxes. A lot cheaper, and it keeps from, you know, it keeps the cards from rubbing up against each other, because sometimes you get a nice card, and these are MVS games, so it's not like they're AES or anything. But change the music. Well, come on, give me a song. You see, I'm just like farting around. Who knows where I am? Let's go back a bunch. Dog's asleep. Anyways, here are all my MVS cards. Just real quick. I do have an extra Metal Slug 4. I accidentally bought 2 by accident, where one came bundled, and I forgot that I had placed a bid on a complete kit of it. And sure enough, I end up winning a Metal Slug 4 kit on eBay, and I had just gotten, you know, one for a really good deal on the Neo-Geo forum, so serves me right. If anybody wants to trade, I do have either a loose cart or a Metal Slug 4 kit, and that was like new old stock, so you know, Here's my Aero Fighters 2 cartridge, which should be in the box, but there's probably Aero Fighters 3 in that box since I have that one too. Here's the other Shock Troopers cart, Top Hunter, and some of these came with my Big Red, that being one of them. King of Fighters 2000, 2001, Ironclad conversion cart. That's either Last Blade 1 or 2. My Polestar, Spin Master, Windjammers. I haven't actually played too much of Spin Master. Windjammers is awesome. I wish it was a little bit more. I wish you could like extend the rounds though. It's kind of a short game. Ghost Pilots. I have that along with a mini marquee. The mini marquee is really cool for that. Magical Drop 2, which has like a serial number of 19. And I have like a crummy Magical Drop 2 that I have extra that came with my my Big Red came with 2 copies of Magical Drop 2. The other one has a replaced label. My Nightmare in the Dark cartridge, which I was very lucky to score on the Neo-Geo forum. I was the first one to PM and got lucky with that. World Heroes, you know, your run-of-the-mill $10 cart that's very fun. Came with my Big Red, along with Samurai Showdown 1, which I actually have a couple of carts of. One I had bought when I first started collecting, and one came with my Big Red. Waku Waku 7, which is an awesome game. Big fan of that game on the Saturn. And this is a Korean cartridge I picked up for like $40, which is a pretty good deal. I think the Korean carts tend to go for less, so but it doesn't matter to me. Another Samurai Showdown cart and a Metal Slug 2 cart that came with mini marquee with my Big Red. So that is the stash of MVS games, and yeah, definitely like to hear some of your favorites. I know when it comes to the earners at the game store, Metal Slug reigns supreme. That one gets a lot of play, Metal Slug X, and kids actually put a lot of quarters into that. I remember checking the bookkeeping on my machine, and all of a sudden, like, you know, like I didn't check for a month, and I checked it again, and somebody had put 300 quarters or credits into Metal Slug X. So even after all these years, people still get obsessed with it, so that's pretty fun. And Aero Fighters 2 is actually another good earning game I found. The fighting games, not so much. I think people are intimidated by them. The only kind of good results I've gotten is when somebody's trying to beat me in Last Blade 1, and you know, I can kind of hustle him for $5 or something. So anyways, yeah, like to hear maybe some of your favorite games, or what you think. I don't know if you have any experience like running these games for coin operated use, and what has got you gotten you good results or whatever, or whatever. Just you know, comments down below. It'd be fun to see what you guys think. My dog is less than impressed. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, and speak to you soon. Bye. Good boy, Jack. Good boy.